Yes, people, welcome back to AFTV News Daily with me, Cecil G, and I've got Turkish with me. You good?
Yeah, come on, G. It's been a little while.
It's been a while, but I'm back, and I'm trying to spread some positive joy on this show today as much as I can, yeah? Because, you know, someone came out in Ice Bath, I spoke about Ben White.
Yeah.
And I said he'd be a great addition, but he shouldn't be priority. The title of it was We Don't Need Ben White. There was uproar, absolute uproar. People saying, we need Ben White, who do you think you are? All of that.
Yeah.
But I think it'll be a great addition. I just think right now he shouldn't be priority, but it's actually, what we heard today, is it's edging very close.
Yeah, I think people are failing to take themselves back to the end of the season when we're going into the transfer window or going into pre-season and so on. None of us thought we needed a centre-back because all of us thought Saliba was going to be the one.
Yep.
So I think people are justified in thinking or saying we don't need Ben White because we thought we had that right-sided centre-back in Saliba. Obviously now we're finding out Saliba, Arteta, there's friction there. You know, Saliba's not going to get his game time this season. He's going to go out on loan. That would mean that, yes, we do need Ben White. Yeah. But essentially, does that mean we give the club yet another clean slate when, again, they've got it wrong with William Saliba and 2 years later I've signed another centre-back for 50 mil? So we've got to question these things because all of these little things is what's accumulated to us being in 8th position 2 years in a row.
Fair. Right, I'm going to read the statement off the article for Ben White. So it goes as followed. Arsenal reportedly agreed personal terms with Brighton centre-back Ben White and have increased their offer to 54 million, including add-ons for the England man. Mikel Arteta is in the market for another centre-back after allowing veteran star David Luiz to leave this summer. William Saliba is also expected to head back to France on loan, with the Gunners needing to add to the trio of Gabriel, Rob Holding and Pablo Mari next season. Which, looking at those are people that we're kind of left with, obviously Gabriel's injured. He's come out and said it's not as serious as he first thought. Yeah. So he hopefully will be back very soon. Rob Holding, I know we've both had our thoughts on Rob Holding. And Pablo Mari, who's actually, or Mari, however you want to say, has also been linked to a Turkish club. I don't know much about this Turkish club.
Yeah.
This might be a weak source from AS Report. Turkish giants, I don't know how to say this.
Beşiktaş.
Beş.
Tash.
Beşiktaş. Yes, Tash. They're reportedly interested in signing Arsenal centre-back Pablo Mari. It's claimed that they would like to have him as part of their side as well. So I'm saying that's probably not going to happen. We're going to need Pablo Mari next season. It's going to be CC let centre-backs go, considering we're also trying to strengthen that area. But I also want to talk about how Mikel Arteta did that last season. He strengthened the back. Yep. Everyone was screaming, we got the best defence in the league. We're the third best defence in the league. But where did we end up with that? We ended up third. So, third? I wish. We ended up 8th. So I think that's why I got so upset with seeing Ben White reports. I was like, we need to work on midfield first. Yeah. 100%. That is the most important key area that we need to work on. And then maybe bringing in one defender. But like I said, I wouldn't be angry with Ben White coming in, but that shouldn't be in priority. But if he comes in, great addition, but that can't be it.
Yeah,
I know some fans might be satisfied with a Ben White deal, and that might blind them and think, you know what, we've done good business here. And at the end of this show, guys, just so you guys know, I'm going to ask you, who is your favourite? What do you want to see? Come into Arsenal. What signings do you want to see come in, and who do you want to see leave? We'll do that right at the end. We'll get everyone's comments and see what they're saying.
Yeah, we'll save that for the end.
We'll save it right to the end. Now I want to start with some nice, positive, happy Saka talk.
Saka, yeah?
Star boy, yeah, you're smiling, yeah? Happy about that?
Of course I am.
We've been watching.
I'm happy now, but I won't be happy next summer when all the big clubs start sniffing around and try and take him from us.
Are you surprised that...
it's a double-edged sword. His performances at the Euros is a double-edged sword. We can enjoy it now, we can love it now, and we can wish and hope him all the best. But as we've saw with youngsters in the past, if you don't build around them adequately, if you don't help their development, if you don't release some of the burden that was on the young players' shoulders last season, then they will seek pastures new. Fabregas once talked about feeling like he was left solely in charge of not necessarily the rebuild or overhaul, but the fortunes of Arsenal Football Club. The pressure was too much. He ended up going over to Barcelona, and you know he done his thing there. Yeah, and so on. Are you not surprised that no one's come in for, or there's not been talk of Saka going to another club this season? Not yet. Clubs coming in for him. I know he signed a long contract, but are you not surprised? Because he's been phenomenal. If I was a club, I'd be
sniffing around, even having little feeders in for Saka.
Yeah.
So were you surprised that you haven't heard anything from, trying to bring him in this summer?
Saka's contract, as much as it was just last year he re-signed a new contract, it also ends in 2024, I believe. So that means next summer he will be going into his last 2 years. So that means the power is in the player's hands if we let it go to next summer.
Yeah.
Now, listen, I've been on the Kroenke's neck and the board's neck and manager and director of football for a long, long time. They can start, showing change by maybe offering a Saka a new contract off the back of this Euro performance. At the end of the day, he is worth more than he was going into the Euros.
Facts.
So we've got to recognise that worth, we've got to recognise that value and make him feel at home, make him feel valued, and make him feel a big part of what's to come in the next 5 years, if anything is to come. So I would be going out and giving Saka a new contract off the back of these Euros.
Okay, fair. That's an interesting take.
This is what big clubs do. Listen, you're not going to have a 19-year-old performing like that at the Euros and then let him go into the last 2 years of his contract next season. That would not make sense. But Arsenal make very little sense.
Do you expect Arsenal to do that though?
No, I do not. But at the same time, if the club has got anything right in the past few years, it is attacking contracts a bit more efficiently. Kieran Tierney being an example this summer. He didn't need to imminently re-sign, but we saw something in him, we believe in him, a future captain, so we gave him a new contract.
Yeah, true.
True. So that headline of Tierney is now settled for at least another 3-4 years. We've got to do that with the remaining stars and shining lights we have, and Saka's one of those.
100% agree. Now, quickly, I want to ask you, I know this is going to sound like quite a wild question, as we know how good Saka is, but were you surprised at how well, be honest, and everyone in the comments as well, I'd love to know, were you surprised with how well he took his opportunity for this England side? Because in my opinion, I didn't see him, I know how good he is. He's very mature when he plays, he makes right decisions, he's an incredible talent. But to step up and be a shining light, win man of the matches in most performances that he stepped on the pitch, I think it's 60% of his games he's won man of the match. I was quite surprised, and I heard a lot of fans, when he was in the starting 11, were like, before he even played, they were saying he's only going just to fill up the numbers. That's what I heard loads.
And when he got number 25, this and that.
Exactly. So I'm gonna be honest, I was surprised, but I know how talented he is. I just didn't think he was about to hold his own so well and be one of probably the favourites for me. For me, him and Sterling have been incredible throughout this Euro campaign. I don't know, I want to ask you, were you surprised?
Nah, because we know, Arsenal fans know what Saka's about. It's easier for other fans to maybe dismiss him in arguments when we're talking about Foden or Greenwood and the other young players, because Arsenal are not in the greatest of positions, 8th, it's not the best breeding ground for people to debate his name when you look at Foden and what Man City are doing. But in my opinion, that is exactly why I believe in Saka, because he's had an immense amount of pressure on his shoulders at Arsenal Football Club this season and when he first came through, and he's managed to take it all in his stride, including this Euro 2021 performance. He came in, like you said, everyone doubting him, everyone thinking he's just there to make up the numbers.
Correct.
Lo and behold, he started game week 3 against Czech Republic. He started the last 16 tie. He was injured for the quarters, and he come back in for the semis. We knew what Saka's about, and the key for me with Saka is we can talk about his quality all day, we can talk about his left foot all day, we can talk about how robust he is and how many challenges he faces all day, but his maturity
is at
such a young age is the key, and that's why I believe Saka will become a star. I hope it's for Arsenal.
Where does he play for Arsenal next season? What position? I haven't answered
this is a great question, because we've got Pepe that side as well, but in all honesty,
it's a hard one. That's a tough one, isn't it?
It's such a difficult one.
It's a tough one. And obviously, we haven't made any signings.
It's such a difficult one.
So it's like...
Because, people said they'd prefer Pepe on the left instead of the right.
Correct.
I actually prefer Pepe on the right, but I might lean more towards preferring Saka on the right over Pepe, and that's the debate I find myself in. It's very difficult,
Let's throw it out to them. Let's throw it out to people then. Okay, what position do you think Saka will be playing next season? What do you think his best position should be for us to succeed next season? Let us know in the comments.
And we've got an early one here that says Saka can play inside. I like him at 10 or a false 8. And last summer going into the season, I actually was a massive advocate of Saka coming in as a number 10. We lacked that.
Yep.
This is before Emil Smith-Rowe came in January. This is around the time when Willian was meant to be the signing that comes in attacking mid. I said Saka can do it. And I remember against Liverpool in the Community Shield, he picked up pockets of space in between the lines, and he done it very well. Like when he played left back and left wing back, he done it very well.
Yeah.
Like when he got put on the right side of the front three, he done very well. Now with Pepe, I feel like if Pepe is, you know, restricted to maybe just the right side, then maybe with Saka there is potential to move him a bit more inside and maybe move Emil Smith-Rowe a bit more to the left. Obviously you still got Martinelli as well. Listen, this is not a job for us to do.
You're right.
It's the job for Arteta, Edu and the club.
That's the main thing. We take a lot of pressure of what the club should do, but it's not like we're just fans as well as everyone else watching. It shouldn't be our pressure to do. Some of these comments are hilarious. But I saw someone said defensive midfield.
Yeah, I saw how at this rate, Callum. Big up Callum.
Big up Callum, because that is the thing. Like, we haven't made any signings. We're not doing. Well, we've made. I think we've made 2 soft signings, but we haven't made any midfield signings. So right now he could be in the 10. Because what are we left with at the moment, Turkish? Who we've got in the midfield right now? So Xhaka's still here. El Neni's still here. Who else do we have there? Partey.
Yeah, Willock.
Well, Willock's coming back. So
and at the moment, Torreira.
Okay, let's go with the 4. We'll go with the 4. So right now, that's the 4 that we have. It's just looking bleak, and this is why I said that midfield is the most important and the most key area that we need to address this window. And going into next season, if you name those 4 players, I mean, that's probably one of the weakest midfields we have in the whole of the Premier League. So I'm worried for that. Saka shouldn't have the responsibility to go in that 10 and try and dominate the midfield. That shouldn't be his role. Yeah. But we're going to, like you said, we're going to give him that pressure at the moment because we're not doing any business, and it's not looking positive in that sense. Yeah. But let's move on to. Well, actually, let's start with the title. Pre-season has started.
Let's go.
Are we ready? That's an open question. Yes or no?
And it's a closed answer. It's an open question but a closed answer. Hell no, we're not ready.
Some people might think we're ready, Turkish.
Then those people, I don't know, take your blindfold off. If you think Arsenal Football Club are ready for the 21-22 season, then boy indeed.
We're gonna touch on, with the pre-season starting, now that it's started, we're gonna touch on the question I posed at the beginning. Who would you like to see come in? Let's start with who you'd like to see come in this summer. There's not a limit on there's not a limit. Let's just see positions and players that you'd like to see come in. Then we want to do the players exit in the club. Who would you want to see exit? Let's start with players coming in. Let us know in the comments. We'll read them out. We can discuss them. Oh, people are saying hard.
Realistic people.
Yeah, let's try to be realistic. What do you want to see come in? And then we'll go to who do you want to see exit during this window. Whilst you're doing that, I'm going to give a Locatelli update because this came out today. It came out at 4:30 today. This was Fabrizio Romano,
my guy.
Can't do this, I can't do the names. I'm so bad at it. Fabrizio Romano has tweeted, "We're in talks for Locatelli with one club from abroad, and it's really advanced. We're going to meet with Juventus in the next days, but there are no negotiations yet with Juve, as Italian clubs are difficult in this financial situation." And just above that, the description over that is
Sassuolo, yeah.
Thank you very much. Chief exec of these names, Giovanni, has confirmed that the Italian outfit are currently locked in talks with an overseas club about the possibility of midfielder Manuel Locatelli sealing a summer exit. Locatelli has been closely linked with a move to Arsenal in recent weeks, and it is possible that the unnamed club could be the Gunners.
It could be possible. It might just be bullshit.
I love how honest you are, and it's the truth, because we get told about rumours and links and everyone just runs away with it. Not everyone, I've got to do a blanket for it, but there's a lot of fan base that will just run away with it and be like, oh yes, this is it, this is what we need. And it just blinds us, and again, it could just be absolute bullcrap because there's stories every day about players coming in, and yet we haven't made a signing.
Neves, who else we had? Renato Sanchez.
I wanted Renato Sanchez.
Locatelli.
Let's quickly talk about Renato Sanchez because I liked him.
I'll take every central midfielder I just named. I'll take all of them. Renato Sanchez, Locatelli, Bissouma, and Neves.
At one point, Neves.
Yeah, I'd take all 4 of them.
So would I, actually.
In all honesty,
I'd be very happy. I mean, that's a strong. So that's what we should be doing. That's what we should be doing. That's what we should be doing in this window. That's a strong amount of signings, and that'd be great. Is people saying anything about?
Yeah, we get a lot of Renato Sanchez's and Bissoumas. We've got a few Aouars in there as well. Obviously, Aouar's on a cut price, 25 million. Mo here says 25 million's a steal. But
let's talk on Aouar quickly because I have some news as well. This one's from ESPN. They're basically saying, they said, Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta has been told to sacrifice one of his existing midfield stars in order to prepare for the summer signing of Houssem Aouar.
We only have one midfield star, that's Thomas Partey. So I don't know why there's an S at the end of that. But
Emile Smith-Rowe potentially?
I mean, well, I thought we were talking about the double pivot.
I hear that. That's more his position, but if you're going to blanket the whole of the midfielders and they're saying a star, like you said, I'm really looking at, like you said, Partey or Emile Smith-Rowe. And Emile Smith-Rowe has been linked with Aston Villa heavily. They keep putting in bids.
Yeah.
So that could be what they're alluding to. But I'm going to carry on with the article. They said the Gunners boss is looking to reshuffle his pack ahead of next season, with the club director Edu tasked with leading the club's recruitment drive over the coming weeks or months. Arsenal have been credited with a renewed interest in his services, talking about Aouar, ahead of the new campaign, but they will need to sell players in order to accommodate his arrival, according to ESPN. Now, they said at the bottom of this as well, Matteo Guendouzi has already left the club to join Marseille on a loan deal that is expected to become permanent at the end of next season. So there is a midfielder that's exited, and there's word obviously Torreira's probably going to leave.
Yeah, I see Lukonga coming in as Guendouzi replacement. Young profile, maybe not like for like, but in terms of profile, they're both young. Both should have their best years ahead of them. So I see him more as a Guendouzi replacement, which comes under the radar, which is not a starting 11 improvement. So I'm all for Lukonga coming in. I don't know much about him, but I'm willing to find out. But I'm also not excited about him being first team. I still expect to. We needed a central midfielder before we even went into the summer knowing who's going to go. So
you must be frustrated. I'm frustrated that we haven't done business earlier, considering how we were in the worst position out of all the clubs that have been linked to other players. We were in the worst position, and yet we've done minimal business. Lukonga, I don't know much about either, I'm going to be honest, so I can't speak on him. But yeah, we're
always in the worst position, and we never act as if we are. You know, we all got out of the big clubs over the last 5 years. Even Tottenham have found themselves in a better position going into the summer. And yes, this summer debatable because they just made Conference League and they've just gone and sacked Jose Mourinho. They've struggled to get a new manager. So yes, maybe the tide's turning in that North London sense. But in all honesty, in terms of the big six clubs and the clubs showing ambition, we've fallen far behind, and that's not only in terms of quality on and off the pitch, but it's also in terms of ambition too, showing that you care. We're far off all of those clubs.
Agreed. I'm just going to quickly head back to Ben White quickly. Now, I spoke with a Leeds fan, a passionate Leeds fan, and he explained how far he was in his progression, Ben White playing at the back, but he said he can also play right back and centre defensive mid. So that, and I'm going to say this because when I did the ice bath, I still think, like I said, he's a great addition, but shouldn't be priority. I don't want him to feel like, because I had a debate with someone on Twitter, that he's not, for me, doesn't feel like he's welcome to join Arsenal, because that's what they said. They said, at least make him feel welcome, like don't be so negative. But it's just like, I think he'll be a great addition, just not what we need right now, but I would say he will be good in the sense of he can play in multiple positions. So if he does come in, he can be, as well as being at the back, he can be a utility player on the right back and centre defensive mid. So you dyslexic? No, I'm not. Sorry, just saw a comment. But so that's on Ben White. Would you be happy with seeing him?
Listen, I don't know. What'd you just say about be nice to him or something like that?
I don't know. Yeah, the Twitter guy was like, at least make him. All this the video that went up, he was like, he's not going to feel welcome joining. And I was like,
who's that guy?
Oh, I haven't got.
That's cool. No, I just wondering because that is another prime example of this fan base treating the club like it's a creche or like it's a bloody nursery or school. At the end of the day, no one's disregarding Ben White as a player. We know very little of him. He's played 1 year in the Premier League. The year before that, he was in the Championship. I have no direct judgment of Ben White as a player, but I do have judgment of Arsenal as a football club and what they've done over the last not only 2-3 years, 5 years, 10 years, but 15 years. None of that's on Ben White. So some of our fans sometimes make it about these kind of things and, be nice to him and give him the best platform when he comes in. Listen, the best platform for these players coming in would be a winning, ambitious formula.
Yeah, and mentality.
Do you think Ben White's coming here to, do you think Ben White would want to come here and be part of a rebuild at Arsenal Football Club that in the next 5 years brings us back into the top four and potentially challenging for major runners? Or does he want to come in here and choose B, which is become part of the furniture? I'm sure he'd want to kick on and he'd want to be, in a title challenging side. As fans, we've got a responsibility now, like we had a responsibility in what's happened at the club. too much trust in, too much blind faith, too much positivity, when in reality there's no positivity to really be taken. We're here now.
Yeah. Do you know what? People said about at least make him feel welcome when he comes in, which obviously I will 100% do. But let me just say something like about this. In my honest opinion, if Ben White comes in...
Right, dog. Sorry to cut you off. Ben White doesn't want to come here listening to your constant negativity. Is the point, pal? So, right, dog.
I told you. No, because... No, I don't know.
My God.
No one said we don't want... I've never said I don't want him. This is why I get frustrated. I keep saying it. He'll be a great addition. And do you know what?
Ben White, come. The grass is so green over here.
Don't lie to them.
The grass is so green. No.
Don't lie
I want to be on Ride Dog side this time. The grass is so green over here. You're coming into perfection. You're coming into an amazing club, ambitious. We want to win. We're going to win the league next year. Come on, Ben White, bring it home. Is this what you want from man?
It's serious.
Is this really what you want from man?
Blood.
Should I lie to him?
I don't know. You shouldn't.
Is me lying to Ben White going to help him?
Nah.
So I don't understand what certain fans want.
And on that, Turkish, that killed me. Fuck's sake. On that, right? He's actually coming in with a lot of pressure because right now people are saying he's replacing Luis. Luis was a leader in the club. I know you may disagree at times. I think he was a leader when he played. He was commanding most of the game. That is a lot of pressure for Ben White to come in and become Arsenal's leader when there's players that have been at this club and haven't led by example. So now you're throwing more pressure on him by saying, listen, he's got to come in and kind of basically lead the way. I think that's unfair.
We can't expect that, and that would be unfair. I just want Ben White to come in and be a competent defender. That would be great, first and foremost.
That's the minimal right now.
Right now, it's the minimal because at the end of the day, we've gone through so many incompetent defenders. That is the first benchmark I'd like. Come in and show some nous and some sense and be competent in your position. That's all I want from you now. Following that, we'll discuss being a leader or not. No one saw Kieran Tierney come in and said captain straight away. It's his performances and the way he embedded himself, the way he carries himself in interviews that turned us round and said that is a future captain. So I'm not putting the pressure of a future leader or future captain on Ben White. All I want is a competent defence for next season. That's all I'd really like.
The bare minimum. Okay, while we're on this little rant, I just want to quickly say as well, because we've left business so late in this window when we're probably in the worst position. I don't want to hear at the start of the season because we have tough games when we go into the season. I think it's Brentford, Chelsea, and City. We have 3 tough games. I don't want an excuse to be we made signings late. Arteta's still gelling with the players. They're getting used to the system. You have to give him time. I don't want that is going to be an excuse that's going to come out. If we make it's late now already. So from now on, if we make signings going forward, I don't want to hear people telling me give him time with the players. There's a new bunch, please. And that's not on Arteta, but it partly is because he should be going to the Kroenkes or the board and saying, listen, I need players. We need the signings now because I need to work with them. Because right now we're going into pre-season with the midfield of, what would we say, Xhaka, Partey, Elneny and Willock. Yeah. So, yeah, I just don't want to hear that from fans saying that we need more time. And he might say that in his press conferences to cover his own back, but that's not fair. You can't say that because you've had ample time and the board have money to buy players. We took out a loan, second loan for an undisclosed fee. They're saying it's around 200 million. But there's still no signs being done apart from Lokonga and I think someone else, which to me is just not good enough.
Of course it isn't. We've got a few super chats here as well. We've got Anakin here says fan base are trolls, stupid and delusional if they think you're being negative. I think you are the most positive person on this channel, Turkish. Come on, man. You know me, though. You know me. I want this club to win. That's the most positive you can be.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
That's true. We want the best for the club. But the most positive person on this channel. Wow.
Come on. And then we got Garang saying, are you guys never reading super chats? We try to. If I missed one, apologies. We got Mark here. He didn't leave a comment next to it, and we got a couple more. Let me just read these out.
Listen to super chat time.
Big up OZ, I see you, my guy. The season ended May the 23rd and still no transfers. The Kroenkes are laughing. Arteta is a puppet and playing his role as the classic fool guy. He'll be sacked by Boxing Day. Rinse and repeat. Unfortunately, that sounds very realistic, and to be honest, at the moment we are at right now, I'd have to agree. Come December,
Boxing Day,
we're not going to be happy.
Boxing Day,
maybe sooner.
That's what I was going to say. That's quite a long time. After his managerial performances last year, I don't think he has that long. I really don't. Again, the player's not coming in the window is going to hinder him. But still, I'm not giving that as an excuse. I'm going to be judging him from the first game. And I think that's only fair. Like you said, we want the best for the club. I know it kind of can sound negative constantly. I'm really trying to find light. But finding positivities is so hard. I said before the show started, I said, Turkish, we're going to try to be positive.
Yeah.
And I looked through the positives. It was Saka for England. I'm sorry, guys.
And the deepest thing is that positive, like I said, can turn to a negative.
Oh yeah, he could get sold. And if I'm honest, it's not even for us. It's for England. It's not even for Arsenal.
The only reason, Kroenke and this club stopped selling top players is because we ran out of fucking top players.
Agreed.
Go back in the timeline. We were selling top player after top player after top player till we sold Van Persie, and that was it. There was no top player to sell on. Cazorla could have been, but his injuries hampered him.
We made the best out of what we had, though. So you say Giroud as well. I mean, he wasn't a top player at France,
in terms of teams coming after our players, like no one really wanted to come for Giroud unless he was available.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Now we've got Saka, Martinelli, Emile Smith-Rowe, youngsters coming through, assets. Yeah. They're going to be looked at more as assets by the club and by Kroenke because they don't give a shit about football or the players. It's assets to them. Will we go back to selling top player after top player? Hence why Saka performing at the Euros is great. Love to see it right now, and hopefully it bodes well for this season. More maturity, more responsibility, etc. But in a couple of years, we'd be stupid to think Saka doesn't want to start challenging for major honours in the next couple of years. Yes, you can turn around and say he'll only be 21. Yes, but look at Mbappe, look at Haaland, look at Joao Felix, look at these men. They're young. They was young, but they moved on to achieve the highest honours. Football's changed. It's not like Henry when he left at 29-30 to go and win the Champions League. Now players are chasing those trophies from the very get-go, 19, 20, 21 years of age, especially if you're the creme de la creme of the Europe's top talent, and Saka is one of the creme de la creme.
So if we end up outside of a Europa spot next season, is it unfair for Saka to want to get a move next season if we don't finish
if this transfer window goes by and it's a 5 out of 10 transfer window and we finish next season 8th again, Saka will be well within his right to maybe first ask questions, very serious questions, and then second, yes, maybe seek a move, or in the next 2 years. I'd say it's very soon for it to be next season, but that's the realities we have to face in the next few years. So the best thing we can do is act properly now. And if people think Ben White coming in, Saka's looking at it like, yo, Ben White is coming in, I might as well sign for 10 years at this club. No. So we got to manage this. It's not only this season that this transfer window affects. It's the next 2-3 seasons. Like every transfer window has that same effect. It's not just a direct, immediate this season effect. It's 2-3 years. We never seem to learn.
Quickly, before you read that super chats, I did see a comment pop up saying Cecil Janelle transfers work. Look at the other, who else made signings, I believe, in the league. I hear that, but I'm saying the position that we ended up last season. And
what do they mean by that?
I don't know. I'm sure he meant by like no one's really made signings.
Well, Leicester have signed 2 players that would come to Arsenal and will probably be, Daka maybe not starting straight away, but Samar 100%. So they've made 2 signings when reality would take this summer. Then you got Aston Villa who've made a signing that we actually went in for.
Yeah, facts.
That's without going into Liverpool and Konate and Man United and Sancho. Yes, Chelsea and Man City ain't signed no one, but that's the champions and the champions of Europe.
Right, and on top of that, Aston Villa, they made that signing, and it's not like they were like, oh, that's our big shiny toy, like maybe Ben White might be. They still want more players. They're still going after Emile Smith-Rowe. They're still going after other players. They want to do more business. That's why I'm frustrated. Yes, and we should have done business by now. Better business than we already have. So,
we should be attacking the transfer market aggressively, and we don't. Hence why I can form an opinion now. Yes, the window's not over, but we're not aggressive in the market, and we're in a position where we need to be aggressive and shrewd in the market. Instead, Aston Villa were more aggressive than us for Buendia. Argue all you want about first target, second target, not a target. I don't give a shit. We made a bid. We lost that to Aston Villa. We were not aggressive enough. We haven't got players over the line. We're not aggressive enough. That's what it comes down to.
And on top of that, aren't you guys annoyed at the war chest that was promised from the Kroenkes? 250 million on summer signings. He said they're going to communicate with fans more. Are you not annoyed that none of that has happened? There's no one annoyed at that yet. Or is everyone just happy that playing happy families and happy Arsenal and we're going to go through and get fourth next season? I don't know how people aren't tired. It's becoming a negative again. I need to pull it back. But it's hard. It's really difficult hard to find positives.
Let's get some super chats in and see if they can swing the tide. Mark here big up Mark. He says, why does it seem like we have so many issues with this club? I hope Stan leaves and sells the club, but I don't think that'll happen. Again, right now, I completely agree. I don't think it's going to happen imminently, the sale of the club, but I think this next year is very, very important. Very important. I feel like if it continues to go the way we've been going over the past couple of years, then the likelihood of a sale becomes greater, because we're a loss-making company now. We're a loss-making business. Without the Super League on the horizon, that Super League would have changed us from a loss-making business to a profit-making business without no ambition. So now that's dead in the water. This next year will be vital, not only for us to see what the Kroenkes finally are about, which I believe nothing, but for them to see what they can actually do with this club without that future European Super League in mind.
Do you not feel like you're repeating yourself in the sense of you saying like this is the most important time to keep the pressure on? But we said that at this.
Brennan, can't you hologram me? You know how they do holograms? Because Cecil just asked, do I feel like I'm repeating myself? I do. I feel like I repeat myself every show, every week, every month for the past 3 years. You might as well just put a hologram of me here saying the same thing.
Yeah, because no, for real, because you said...
Say nothing.
Oh, they didn't say we can do that. All right, wicked. Yeah, because you said the same thing. You keep saying, like, this is the most important, keep the pressure on, this is the most important year. But last year, again, they were in a loss. The club's in a loss. They're not getting a profit right now. But Daniel Ek offered a profit. 2 billion or 1.8 billion. They could have taken that and ran, and that'd be good business for them. But they're holding on to it. And like you said, it's going to be more of a loss for them if they hold on to it and we keep pressure on them. But I don't know. Let's see if that's going to happen.
And we've got sometimes super chat. Sometimes transfers have the domino effect. Some clubs may be waiting on moves from other clubs to do business, especially when it comes to the big. Yes, you are right. Some clubs do that, but again, Arsenal are not in a position to be waiting around for convenience. Waiting for other teams to make moves to nab a player that comes off the back end of it is convenience. We've done that with Mesut Ozil. We've done that with Alexis Sanchez. We've done that with Petr Cech. None of them worked out for this club. None of them, because in the end, Ozil finished. In the end, Sanchez left for Mkhitaryan, and in the end, Cech went back to the club that he loves. None of them worked out.
Willian, you can add to that list as well.
That's another convenience one. So for me, I understand, and if you're an efficiently run club, then fair enough. But history tells us that being shrewd in that manner is only another tool to quieten us fans down. That's all it is.
Okay, I want to know, coming towards the end of the show, I want to know who needs to. I don't want to say who needs to exit. I don't want to say who needs to exit. But who would you want to see? Who you want to see kind of leave and come out the door in this window? Who's likely to leave? Because we know obviously Torreira's probably going to go. I don't know if Willock's staying. He is definitely obviously still at the club. But would you want him to stay for next season? Do you think he's earned his place from his loan from Newcastle?
These are my outs.
Okay, let's do the out. That's what I wanted. Yeah.
So this is my outs, and this is my bare minimum outs. This ain't even touching in on the Joe Willocks or whoever. This is my bare minimum of who we should show the door this summer. We start with Xhaka. We move on to Torreira. Guendouzi's already gone. Now that's three central midfielders gone. So you already know what we have to buy. Then I'll go for Willian. Then I'd go for Bellerin. Then I'd go for Maitland-Niles. Then I'd go for Kolasinac. Then I'd go for Eddie Nketiah.
This is a lot,
and I'd probably wrap it up with Reece Nelson because it doesn't seem like he's happy and his contract's going down. That would be...
That's 8, I think.
8 players I'd get rid of this summer, bare minimum. That's not to say I wouldn't get rid of any more, because I would, but the bare minimum would be those 8 players.
That's a lot.
It's a lot.
And the comments agreeing as well. That is a lot of players. But I'm not going to say I disagree. I just don't know what that leaves us with, and how much money do you gain off that, and how many signs can you bring in with that? There'll be enough to fill most positions, because a lot of those players weren't I guess holding
on one hand, we have that argument. On one hand, fans will say, because I see a few comments, big up Right Dog again, he said how much for them more, and we can query that, and we can say, how much can you get for them though? It's not going to be much. But then the season starts, January comes, for example, we're told we can't buy players, we can only loan players. We look into our finances, we see the wage structure is fucked.
We took out a loan, like I said at the start as well. We've got there's money there.
This is why, it isn't the greatest business, but right now, the way Arsenal are at, we've got to take some losses to eventually change this club around. There's no point in saying, for example, there's no point in saying we can't sell Willian this season because no one's giving us 10 mil. Why would we sell him for 7 mil? The season starts, he earns 150 bags a week. January comes, we can't buy anyone. The end of the season comes, our profit margins are minimal. And we go back to, are we going to get what he's worth? Fuck what these men are worth now. Because at the end of the day, look at who's in for some of these men. Xhaka, who's had such an amazing performance against France and who's had a solid 5 years apparently for Arsenal, and he's not one to blame, is only wanted by Roma.
Yeah, that's another thing I want to talk about. Well, just quickly, as you said earlier, you was like, from Robin Van Persie, clubs wanting to come in and buy our top players. Xhaka was supposedly a top player, but then, like you said, only Roma have come in for him. They put in a bid, and we said it's not enough. They raised it to what, I think it was 15 million.
Yeah.
People praise Xhaka, and I don't want to make this a Xhaka slander ep, but they praise him. But he'd be worth more than that if he was such a key and vital player to Arsenal. But he's not, and he's only wanted by one club.
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense, and that's there's other players as well. And I don't know where they can go to. I don't know what other clubs are going to want them, in the sense of the players that you've named. I don't know who's going to want them as well right now.
Then it comes to I know a lot of people say, but who wants our players? That's not our job. If Liverpool can sell Ryan Brewster for 23 mil, having not played a Premier League game before, why couldn't we sell Eddie Nketiah that same transfer window for 20 mil, having played games in the fucking Premier League? Why not?
Yeah,
that's not a question for me to answer, for you to answer. That's not even a question for you guys to answer. It's what the hell is Edu and Gazidis and all of these men that have been in charge of all of these problems? What were they doing? Ainsley Maitland-Niles, whose decision was it to keep him, but then go and sell Martinez to make up the money for Partey? Why wouldn't you go sell Maitland-Niles? Because you've already got 3 right backs in the side. Make the money for Partey that way, and then you keep hold of Martinez. Instead, here we are, 2021, coming to the realization that Martinez is the better keeper, and we made a mistake with that. I'm pissed off, and the more I talk about it,
gets
the more
more annoyed.
I know
it happened to me. Guys, apologies. You're right in everything you're saying, and we're trying to make it light.
Sorry,
so no, I know. There was a comment when I came back from when I was away, and they were like, because James had his rant video, I'm sure you guys saw. He said what is going on with this club, and the comments like, Turkish has done this to James and says this is but it's not that.
Even when I saw that title on Monday, what the fuck is going on? I thought, let me check the schedule, is this meant to be me? Because it sounds like it's meant to be me. Then I see James there just flipping. I thought, well,
I was like, oh my god,
there we have it.
Yeah, what he was listing was pure facts, and what you're saying there is pure facts. And as much as I'm trying to be on the positive side for Arsenal, there's not much that they're giving us to be positive about. The only thing I'm positive about is the season's slowly nearing, and pre-season has started. But that means nothing, because we're in the worst position. And these pre-season games, when I was a player and went into pre-season, it kind of sets you ahead for the season. You understand how the manager wants to play. That's what it's supposed to be for. You're supposed to be prepared. You get to gel with the new players. And you can you don't gauge how the season's going to go, but you definitely get a good gauge of how it's going to start. Right now, we don't have players.
We ain't got a goalkeeper going into pre-season. Leno's on holiday. Macy's gone. Ronaldson's going to Turkey. We haven't got a first-team goalkeeper starting pre-season.
That's a massive worry.
That's just one of many. I'm just giving an example out there of the stupidity of this club.
Yeah. What centre backs do we have? Because Gabriel's injured, so we have Mari and Holding, right?
I'd actually prefer not to go through the players, because we haven't got anyone new.
Yeah,
so all the names you're going to tell me is going to jar me.
It's going to be the same as last season.
Yeah, I
so
can't lie.
So that's what I was trying to be excited for, was pre-season. But like I said, it's going to be a false representation of how we're going to start, and how well the team's going to be, and how well they're going to play going forward. So there's not much to answer to when it comes to positive news. So apologies for the negativity, but you're not saying anything wrong. You're not saying anything wrong. That's the thing.
I don't think I am. I'm not someone who.
It's not like we're making up stuff. This is what's going on.
My opinion, and my opinion is just based off of what I see from the club. It's not like I pull shit out of my arse and make an opinion off of it. I make opinions of what the club do. And I can give you about 5 examples in the past 12 months of this club being a mess. 12 months, not 12 years, 12 months. If we stretch it back 12 years, I could probably find 50 examples for you of this club acting in a mess as to why I am the way I am now. You know, people say negative, people say views, people say AFTV, all of this shit, yeah. But I would love nothing more, and I've said it before, I'd love nothing more than Arsenal win the fucking Premier League. I'll be popping champagne on this set.
Bro, it would be the biggest,
it would be the maddest day.
That or the Champions League. If I see a Champions League, I'll tear this whole studio down.
But until I can believe in that again, I'm going to remain grounded on this subject, because I have to remain grounded.
Yeah. That's what's scary. You don't even see that's possible right now. I really can't. There's a super chat right there that says, what's your predictions for next season? I mean,
we can't predict next season right now, but if you're asking me to predict where a team that's finished 8th twice will finish, having brought in no more new players,
it's 8th, really.
Logic will tell you around 8th, you know.
Yeah.
Like, people will then call me negative and say, oh, cheer up, have some more belief. Well, fuck me. 2 years in a row finishing 8th, no new players.
What do you expect?
2 plus 2, it's not 63, mate. It's 4. Yeah? And I don't mean 4 as in 4th. I mean...
Someone clip this. That is someone clip that. That's perfect. It's so true. Finished 8th 2 seasons in a row. There's no signing so far that seem to be that they're going to change the current squad. Where do you expect us to finish? Like you said, 8th, if not worse, because other teams are doing business and progressing.
Yeah.
So if it's going to be 8th or worse than that. Let's go to some comments. While you go to some comments, I'm just going to quickly just see if there's any new news that has popped up, and we can discuss what's been said so far.
Yeah, we got one in Turkish. You got to realise a lot of men are younger than us and didn't experience the glory years, so don't understand why we feel like this. And you know what, I've come to the realisation of that. You know, some fans didn't have that joy, the joyous period, the Invincibles and all of that, so they just support maybe the club through family, through area, through being local, whatever it is, yeah? But that shouldn't lead to them putting fans like me down because we want our club to be back up at the top. We want the same thing, regardless if you were there for the Invincibles or you were not there for the Invincibles. Surely we all want the same thing, and that's the club to be ambitious, not necessarily win, because
it's going to take time for that to get back to a winning side. It's going to take time to build.
There's 4 clubs that can win the Premier League every season. There's about 10 that can win the Champions League every season.
But they had time to rebuild as well. They've gone through their periods. Man United had to fall down to come back up. Liverpool the same. So it's going to take a bit of time. But you're right in what you say there. Like, what do you expect us to do or say?
Yeah.
I know there's a super chat there, but before you go into that one, I just want to get your thoughts on William Saliba, because I haven't asked you.
Yep.
I was hurt seeing him going on loan. I know at first the loan last season was told to us to protect him. Obviously his mum passed, and Arteta thought it was best for him to go back and be in his hometown and play for a team, and he seemed to be doing really well. A lot of player of the months. I'm not going to say I'm an expert on William Saliba, but from what we've heard and what I've seen of last season, he seemed like he could play for this. He could definitely have fitted into Arsenal club, into the squad, and not looked out of place.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm upset to see him go on loan. I don't know what your thoughts were. And people were telling me, well, you can't compare him. You can't say he was ready. He was young. But I guess Fofana done it. They won an FA Cup with Leicester. You can't, you know what I mean? I said Matthias de Ligt as well has had a great career. He came in at 19 as a centre back, very young, done really well. So there is examples of it. I think William Saliba would have slotted in fine at Arsenal, but I don't know what went wrong there. I don't know if there was an issue with him and Arteta, or if it's just for him to progress. It's for his career to go on loan and maybe join the Arsenal squad later. But I don't see that happening personally.
Yeah, I think it was definitely a Raul signing. Maybe with a bit of Emery there, because those two are the two that are not here now, and obviously they weren't here last summer, so that might go a long way in understanding why it doesn't seem like Saliba's been favoured. Because let's be honest, it comes to not being favoured. Arteta hasn't seen enough of him to really make an informed judgment. So maybe it's his attitude, maybe it's the way he trained briefly, maybe in the couple of weeks he got, or maybe whatever he got last summer. I don't know what he got, but he did feel aggrieved about not being given enough time to prove himself. That would go somewhere in explaining it. It's not an Arteta signing, it's not an Edu signing, but at the same time, who the hell are Arteta and Edu for me to believe in what they believe in? They haven't shown me anything for me to believe in them. So it is a sad situation, because like I said, going into this summer, I didn't think we needed a right centre back. I thought if we had a 50 million to spend on a player, it would be better equipped going right back, central mid. Lo and behold, they got that one wrong with Saliba. So yes, in fact, we do need a right-sided centre-back. So yes, again, in fact, our money is potentially going to be split up even more so amongst other positions.
Yeah.
So it is sad, not because I believe William Saliba is a great defender and will be the next best thing since sliced bread, but more because we were sold a dream in a sense. He came in 18 years of age, 27 million, give him out on loan for another year before he comes back in and, you know, gets his development here. He didn't get that. We again as fans understood it for a season, having, you know, the inconsistencies of injuries, his mother passing away. We can understand that. But yet again this summer, you tell us that he's part of the plans for next season, and then you go and move him on loan. That you are lying to us.
Yeah, that's
it is plain and simple lies.
It's lies. But that's been throughout this whole of last season, was pure lies. A lot of things. I'm scrambling to remembering some of the lies we were told, but there was a lot of Arteta covering the backs of the board. He had a lot of things going on behind closed doors that wasn't said and used as excuses. So yeah, any more comments popping up?
We did have one here. Yeah, here we are. AFC Max says Cecil, Saka right wing, Pepe left wing, Emil central attacking, and Oba as a striker is a must until a Cam gets in. Also, with this squad at present time, it is sixth. So AFC Max predicts a rough sixth finish, and he'd go with a front three or a front four of Saka, Pepe either side of Oba, with Emil Smith Rowe in the attacking mid position.
What about Martinelli? Their AFC Max, I'll be intrigued. There's not been a lot to speak about Martinelli actually in this whole window. He's been very.
Yeah, he signed a new contract a few months ago. No, beginning of the year.
Yeah, that's true. Which is good business.
Yeah,
it's good business from Arsenal. So another one we can be positive.
Yeah, let's end it there.
That's positive.
Let's end it there.
Positive.
Martinelli got a new contract a few months ago.
That's good.
Surely we'll win in the league. Surely we'll win in the league.
Stop that. The Ben White thing about making him welcome. That grass is greener bit is that's finished me. Let's not do that. But that is good. That's good that Martinelli has signed, and it's good business from Arsenal. I know that was I think last month or a few months ago, but that is good. That guy, big up AFC Max. That is a good front four.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would like to see Martinelli involved in that as well.
100%. Obviously, he's going Olympics, so he missed the start of the season. If Brazil do well,
Gabriel's missing out on the Olympics now, obviously as well because of his because of the injury as well.
Internet Explorer asks, who has the bigger? What a message! Imagine how that. Forget it.
Let's not do that. We're not going to get cancelled on the news show. This is the primetime news.
Wait, Martinelli wasn't last year during Saka. I thought Martinelli was this season, just gone.
What's signed?
Yeah, I thought Martinelli just signed his contract this season, just gone. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I've just delved deep into the past of Arsenal Football Club for me to find the last positive.
I thought he did it.
I thought it was January he re-signed, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong.
Potentially. All right. Well, I think we are coming towards the end of the show.
Yeah.
We're coming towards the end of the show today, but thank you everyone for joining us. It's been.
Oh wait, breaking news. We've signed Messi. Have a good night, people.
Have a good night. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you again very soon. Thanks for watching.
Love for the love.